I've been pretty critical of FC25 career mode. I've spoken a lot about the broken stuff, the things I hate as well, the things we hate. But today we're going to keep it positive because today I'm talking about the things I actually like in career mode. Career mode is not all bad. It does have some decent stuff, so that's what I'm going to focus on today. And let me know about the things you like in career mode in the comments as well. If you do enjoy the video, please leave a like for me. Make sure you subscribe for more FC25 videos as well. The first thing I like in FC25 career mode is, of course, the play as a real manager feature. I have to say though, I only like this feature if the managers have real faces. So if you're going to use Guardiola or Arne Slot, they're going to have real faces. So obviously it's going to look good in the game. Where I don't like this feature is when there's managers with generic faces, like Van Nistelrooy. I think he's an icon in the game, but for some reason we have a generic face on him. So obviously, if you're going to pick a manager without a real face, you might as well just create your own guy, I think, because the only benefit that you're going to get is just the name that's authentic. There's also another issue. There's not many managers in France. Even Germany doesn't have many from the Bundesliga. I think there's only one. I do have a bit of a love-hate relationship with this feature, but for the most part, I do like this feature. I'm glad it's in the game. I just wish we had more real faces. One thing I really like in career mode this year is this new setting that they brought in. It's called the no sacking setting. Look at that. For many years that I've played career mode, it was always the same issues. No matter if you won the quadruple, you would still get sacked because you didn't sign a youth player from Australia. This game would sack you if you're just doing calendar sims, if you don't want to fulfill any of their objectives. And finally, with this no sacking setting now, that all goes out the window. You don't have to follow any of the board's expectations and you still won't get sacked. You can play career mode the way you want to do it without having to fulfill any objectives. Even if you leave it on lenient, you can still get sacked. If you leave it on strict, you're more likely to get sacked. Harsh, pretty much you're going to get sacked guaranteed even if you win 5 trophies in one season. But yeah, this no sacking rule has saved career mode because we needed it. Now you don't have to worry about always losing your job. Another thing I like is the new pre-career settings that EA has brought in this year. It's a much needed improvement to the old pre-career settings that we used to have. This year we have a lot more things to play around with before we even jump into the save. So we've got quick settings like the transfer stuff. You can even disable transfers for the whole of your career mode save. You can do an embargo as well. You can even have only transfers where there's no loan deals, it's only transfers. You can even have only loan deals, so no transfers will be completed. And this year you can also put an embargo on your own team, so you can have like 14 seasons of embargoes and then just go crazy in the 15th season. I don't know how many people would want to do that to themselves, but maybe there's one. This year you can also turn scouting on or off. You can also turn training plans on or off. If you don't want to play around with that stuff this year, you don't have to worry. You can even have always full or fixed rates. Difficulty and financial takeover is still there as well. You've got your match settings and also CPU sliders and your own sliders as well. Another thing I like is the wind effects and weather effects settings as well. Training settings are good. You can grow your senior players quicker, or you can leave it on slow or normal. Even the youth players, you can set that up so they develop faster. The squad settings are also new this year, and this is interesting because now you can put injuries on your own players before you start the save. I think Rodri's injured actually, so let's say Rodri, at the moment, if you were to start the save, he wouldn't have any injuries, which means you can use him straight away on day 1 in career mode. But now, if you want to make it more realistic, you can go to this setting and give him a knee injury. I think he's out for the rest of the season, so you can give him like an ACL. I don't know what his exact injury is, but yeah, you can do 12 weeks, 30 weeks for an ACL, and then you can apply that to the game, and Rodri's going to start injured and you won't be able to use him. So I think that's pretty cool. There's also match suspensions, so you can now suspend your players before you even start your career mode saves. Let's say in real life there's a player that's suspended. You can give him like a 5-match ban or a 10-match ban in the Premier League, but it doesn't affect any other competitions. Maybe they need to expand that so you can have like Champions League bans or other kinds of bans, I guess. You can make transfers strict, and you can also do some scouting settings as well. And another awesome feature is the club growth objectives feature. So if you leave it on, the board will evaluate you based on meeting the club's domestic and continental performance objectives, as well as those related to popularity, profitability, and the youth academy. So pretty much you're getting assessed on everything. If you turn it off, the board will assess you strictly based on your team's performance in domestic and continental competitions. So there's a lot of people that don't like to do the objectives in career mode because sometimes they're not good, sometimes they don't even make sense. But the problem was if you didn't fulfill those objectives, you could get sacked. Now, even if you don't use the no sacking rule it might be harder to get sacked if you still perform. So I guess leaving it off is the best of both worlds. You're going to minimize your chances of getting sacked and you still have performance objectives to fulfill. Overall, I really enjoy the new settings in career mode before you start. Another feature I like in career mode is a new one. It's called Icon Players in Player Career Mode. At least this year, if you don't want to create your own guy or girl, if you don't want to play as a real player, you can now play as these legends. Beckham, Baggio, Zidane, Ronaldinho, Ronaldo, Muller, Billy and Harm at the moment are available, but they do change it every couple of weeks. I don't know why they drip feed it. I wish all the icons were available. If you're waiting on a particular icon, they might not even show up until January. They might not even show up until July next year. We'll see what happens with this, but a lot of people are already saying that they should not replace the icons. They should leave them all available. But regardless, I think it's alright. I think it's good that you can use the icons in player career, but I'm not sure if they should be 90 overall players. Maybe you could have like a young version of them, because at the moment it feels like you just throw them into player career mode and you can just start playing like a 94 overall player would, smash everyone, score heaps of goals. We'll see if EA sort of improves this feature in the future. It's a good start. And hopefully we can see these icons in manager career as proper managers as well soon. Another setting I really like in the game is this simulation gameplay type. Obviously through updates, EA will tweak the sim gameplay, but it's better than having classic gameplay in career mode. Classic gameplay is for those Ultimate Team players, the arcadey, high intensity, chaos gameplay that we all know and love. If you want to play career mode and take the game more seriously, more realistically, you can use the sim settings now, which is going to affect your own sliders and also the CPU sliders. And to be honest, I've only used the simulation gameplay type. I haven't even touched the classic gameplay type. This was another good gameplay setting that they put into the game this year. So this is a returning feature on next-gen consoles. EA took it out last year, but now they brought it back due to popular demand. Watch full match intro. This is another feature I like in the game, but they've made it even better this year. You can always watch the full match intro. You can never watch it. If you're not a person that likes it, you can just, carry on and not watch it. Or you can opt in. So if you like the best of both worlds, maybe you want to watch it in a cup final or a Champions League night, you can choose to opt in and trigger the full match intro right before it's supposed to happen. Last year, the game would play a little cinematic before the match, and then it would throw you straight into the kickoff. You didn't get to watch the lineups, you didn't get to watch any handshakes and walkouts. A lot of career mode people were very upset with that. And now it's changed if you enable the opt-in feature. So basically you can see on the bottom right, hold for full match intro. Right now we've got the little cutscene there and we just hold square and now that's triggered the full match intro. So after this, it should play the full walkout and there you go, look at that. So now you can enjoy it. Now you got the best of both worlds. I don't know why they didn't do this in the first place, but of course, we had to wait another year for something that should have been there. And now you can watch the players walking out. And for some reason, there's a Premier League trophy there in an FA Community Shield match. What is the trophy doing there? Someone's made a big error. It's the wrong competition. Looks like you can win the Premier League now just by winning the FA Community Shield match. This game is probably more broken than FC24 already. This was obviously part 1. I've still got a lot of things to talk about for this topic, so part 2 will be coming soon with more things I like. Thank you to my channel members Chris and Callum for your support. If you want your name featured here, just sign up using the link in the description. If you did enjoy, make sure you leave a like for me, make sure you subscribe for more episodes, and hit the thumbnail in the middle to watch another FC25 video.